welcome. My name's Kathy A, and on Saturday, the Sephora store nearby me had a VIP or VIB event, kind of to see the new fall lineup of stuff from the different brands and to get a makeover and eat some brownies and truffles and just kind of schmooze with other people who spend way too much money on makeup. Anyway, I took my friend Corrinne and we went to breakfast afterwards. But anyway, here is our little journey.
Jacobs Cat's Meow. I love the color and the pigment of these lipsticks, so I'm going to try that. And then doing some STILA, some glitter and glow just for the edges over here. Just a little dab on the edges. It's really pretty. I got the color Smoky Storm.
Oh, cool.
And then I also picked up, I am going to try the FENTY lip gloss balm. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Maybe a stocking stuffer for my daughter, so that'll be perfect for her. And then these are great standbys. These are these always work out really well. And for mom, I got the SEPHORA Brushes. So, and then a mask for my daughter.
Oh, cool.
So it'll be fun.
You did very well too.
Yes.
Very, very refrained.
So I bought a few things at the sale and actually was very, very disappointed in a couple of them. And the first one is, it's so sad that it is because I had high hopes for this. This is the Tarte called the Treasure Box. And this looked like it had, I don't know if you can see on the cover, it has a, right in there, you've got a million things in this. You've got a lipstick, a mascara, an eyeliner, you've got eyeshadows, a blush, contour. So when you open it up, this is everything you get. And on this side here, you've got a contour, a darker contour and a lighter contour. You've got a powder which is a slight glowy powder, so it's like a highlight. It reminds me a lot of Wet n Wild's Reserve Your Cabana, that light colored highlighter they have in their bronzer collection. It's like $3. It's very similar to that because it's not a very really shiny highlighter, it's just a kind of a glow. And then there's two blushes, sort of nondescript peachy color, and then a warm pink. Now the shadows, I thought there was a terrific assortment of shadows in here, and I couldn't wait to jump into it, and I had to wait a day so that I could actually use the shadows, and I'm just going to get real close here so you can see them. I think this falls under the category of they use a different factory to make these big collections cheaply, because the formulation of these is not like the formulas that are in the Tartelette in Bloom palette or the Tartelette palette that a lot of people love. And the darker colors are so lightly pigmented and blotchy, they don't blend well. Some of the shimmery colors aren't bad, but I put eye makeup on, I did my face, I looked back in and I couldn't see the eye makeup. It was like within a 10-minute period. So I added more eyeshadow, and I see even now it's just subtle. I mean, to you it probably looks like I have a full eye look going, but it took a lot of effort. And some of these colors are very, very pretty, very usable. There's this nice kind of burnt orange color. I'll show you an armload of swatches. And beautiful shimmers. I think the shimmers are my favorite. They did work the best out of all of the formulations. The shimmers were the best. But you can't really wear a lot of shimmers. As an older person, there's only limited areas where you can really use those shimmers. So I was disappointed in the shadows, and I wanted to love them. A really important thing to bring up is that this doesn't have a cover on it. Like, this has a cover on it, which I don't understand why it does, because this actually needs the cover, because this flops right over into the eyeshadows, or the eyeshadows flop over into it, depending on how it lands in your box. So if you lose this plastic cover, that goes over your eyeshadows, and this flops over. You're going to get blush, contour, and highlight into your shadows, and vice versa. You will get the shadows into the blush. So this was very poor planning here. They should have some kind of cover like this over these or something. I did think it was great that they included a Tartist lip paint. They've got the Lights Camera lashes, and then they've got the very nice eyeliner. Now I like Lights Camera lashes, and I did like the eyeliner, but the Tartist lip paint was so dry, and it accentuated the cracks in my lips. It made them so dry they cracked. Like, it's a pretty neutral nude, but it goes very, very dark when it dries down, and I just found that it was way too dark for me. So, and dry, but the stark lines that my lips had after this had dried down is what really made me dislike it. So all in all, I mean, the packaging is just stinking cute. Poorly planned. You're gonna have to get yourself a piece of wax paper or, you know, copy paper and cut it down to cover these shadows if you're gonna use it. So the shadows are very lightly pigmented. Some people like that because then they don't put way so much on that they can't control it and it looks messy. But they don't blend all that well. The darker shades were disappointing. The dark brown didn't come off as dark brown, so it was deceiving, I think. So this is going back, and it's a huge disappointment. And I did not buy the Too Faced set that they had there for the same fear, that because last year they did use kind of a cheaper factory to make their holiday set, the quality wasn't there. So I think Tarte fell into that same scam because it just, nothing worked. And I really didn't care that much for the blushes. I did blend them out. The dark contours were a little on the red side, and the two blushes, I don't think they were all that flattering on, and they're very, very subtle, so you can't really see them. The only thing in the face products that worked really was that highlighting powder, which did work nicely. It makes a nice glow. So that was the Tarte Treasure Box. This is the Bare Minerals General Nude, and this is called Must Have. And I'm wearing it right now. I like this formula a lot. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Now this is the Buttercream lip gloss, and these are a different formula than the regular general nudes. I'm just going to show you what that looks like on. I had swatched a lot of these. When Corrinne and I go to these events, between the two of us, we just cover our arms with swatches and test things out. I mean, I really seriously, I look at it as a time when I really seriously look at colors, shades, formulas, and pick out something that I think will really work. And this worked really nicely. And the color, again, is this color, and it's called Must Have. So I think for fall, it is a must-have. It's pretty nice. They gave me a free sample of IT Cosmetics CC Cream because they must have thought I was the only person living under a rock that hasn't tried it yet. But this was the free gift at the checkout, along with this bag, which is, it's actually neat. It's embroidered. It's embroidered. It's like a fake leatherette, and it's got, you know, your general interior. But the lips look embroidered on the front. So I think it's a really high quality bag for a change. Usually we've been getting those cheapy ones from them. I did get a couple Sephora brand items, and I had somebody else had talked about the lip pencils, and these are the Lip to Go pencils. They're only $6 each. Rose, which is this one, and this is light brown, which is this one here. So you can actually use these as a nice lip base and then put, you know, a nice shimmering lip gloss or lipstick over the top of them. but they're really nice for controlling, you know, the lipstick trying to edge out into those little lines we have around the edge of our mouths, especially if you're over 40. I did get this in pink tea, it's called. This is a Sephora, the liquid lips that they have. And I thought it would go really well with the light brown lip liner. So it is very, very pretty color. It smells like vanilla cake. I went to the Urban Decay Vice section, and I hadn't considered this before, but when I swatched it, it looks so beautiful. This is the limited edition Heat color, and it's kind of a sparkly red, and I had tried the other shade, Fuel I think it was, and I didn't like it, but this red is dynamite. It's a beautiful shimmering red, and I thought, I'm going to a wedding in a few weeks, so I thought this would be very pretty to wear as the lipstick. It's going to be an autumn wedding, autumn themed wedding. So, boy, I tell you, trying on some of my dresses, I've gained weight this year. Oh my God, from being lethargic and slumpy and everything else, yeah. So, this was the Hourglass Vanish stick, and it was greasy and thick, and it looked terrible in my lines. This was awful. I'm so glad I just got a sample of that so I could try it. For my perk, I selected the Lashcraft Big Volume Mascara, and I haven't tried it yet. I'll give it a try, and I'll let you know what that is like. And so that was what I purchased at the Sephora event. Now the Fenty is actually Rihanna's last name. It's her. So the Fenty line of makeup is Rihanna's makeup. You know, the singer Rihanna. It is not geared towards anybody who's over the age of like 25. It is absolutely glitter, glow, gaudy. It is just, I didn't like anything about it, and I picked up a brush. I was going to buy a brush there, and then I changed my mind because it just, I don't know, it was $34. I thought the price points were way over the top. Everybody that went to the event she held over the weekend, I think it was Friday night, she held a big event for a lot of beauty insiders. Jeffree Star was one of them, and he was demonstrating some of the products, and you know, he put the highlighter on, this hugely metallic highlighter. He went, oh, bitch, girl, you know how he got all excited about it. And I thought, I wouldn't wear that. So, you know, I'm like the little old lady, you know, sitting in the corner. I'm like, no, you know, I'm not that square, but I just didn't find anything in that line that was appealing. The only thing I was really impressed with, and I thought really is 5 stars for her to do this, she had over 40 shades of foundation, 40 different shades. And that, to do that, to me, is just, I wish other cosmetic companies would take that kind of an attitude, because there's more than 5 or 6 shades of people, you know. I mean, and you know, there's variants along the way. Like, you could be a medium, but you could be a medium with olive tones, you could be a medium with cool tones or pink undertones, and the medium won't work for some people. So I like the fact that she has mediums for warm, cool tone, olive skin. You know, she's got a nice variety of shades. Now, when I did swatch the foundation, I swatch foundations on my hand, and I especially go right in here, in between my thumb and my forefinger here, and then, because there's lots of wrinkles in there, I put it in there like it was on my wrinkly skin. And I wait a few minutes, and then I look at it, and how it reacts there is usually how it will react on my face. And it was horrible. It was very, very cakey looking. So I thought, well, everybody's saying that they loved the coverage. It was medium coverage. It was pleasant. It was nice. But I just didn't want to take the risk. And what I should have done, and I wasn't thinking of it, is get a sample of it. The colors apparently oxidize up almost a full shade when they're dried down. I watched Jeffree Star when he put half on with the beauty blender, and then he was going to put, using the brush, he was going to put on the other half of his face. Well, this side had dried down by the time he got to this side, and it was like another shade darker. And what he was putting on, it was like so obvious it had oxidized up almost a shade. So I'm not sure about, you know, that particular foundation. I may go back when I'm returning that set. I may go and get a sample of her foundation just to see if it does work on my face. But anyway. So, oh, I did want to mention this because I did receive a play this month. This was the Controversial Makeup Geek play, and I'm sure Marlena was a little surprised to see this. I mean, it's a common term that we're geeks and we're like makeup, but somebody might have forgotten. I think that's her brand. You know, Makeup Geek is her brand, so I'm not sure if that's going to be followed up or not. But in that set, there were a lot of really good things, but the one thing that I really loved was this. It's an element chart for beauty. And you go into all of what, well, all those things are that you use, you know, when people are talking about hyaluronic acid and all that stuff. It's all here. And I think that it's just so cool. See, there's the HY is hyaluronic acid. But it's an element chart for beauty, and I just think this is priceless. And it was my favorite piece of the Makeup Geek play by Sephora. I didn't get this month. I had to cancel because we're in the process of moving, and I didn't want to go through that address nightmare thing where you get things sent to you and they won't forward them, or the people who live there now just keep it. So this was really, really clever, and I think that was probably one of the best Sephora play boxes I ever got. So yeah, we had a good time this year, and there was a lot of new products, a lot of lip products. There seems to be a lot of glitter and highlight going on, and it's not really my thing. I'm not really into a lot of highlighters. I'll put a little bit on just for a little bit of a glow, but I guess I am an old fogey. Oh my God. Anyway, on that note, thanks Corrinne for being a good sport, and I hope all of you out there are having a wonderful week. Have a beautiful day. Take care. Toodles.